Yeah, you in the mix, man. You in the mix. Sports mix. Yeah, you in the mix. Rockin' with Kenny. When it comes to news, man, he got plenty. You in the sports mix with Kenny. News and knowledge. A lot of dope techniques make kids become scholars. You need to tune in. A lot of hot topics. When it comes to sports, Kenny sound like a prophet. You in the mix, man. You in the mix. Plus he keep you up on all the hottest trends. Plus you never know who he has as a guest. So grab a cold one, man, and just tune in. You in the mix, man. You in the mix. You in the mix. Sports mix. You in the mix. Rockin' with Kenny. When it comes to news, man, he got plenty. You in the mix, man. You in the mix. You in the mix. Sports mix. You in the mix. You rockin' with Kenny. When it comes to news, man, he got plenty.
Oh boy. What up, y'all? It's the sports mix. Big Kenny in the building. Got my man Dino side by side. What's going on, my bro?
Yes, sir. In the house. I'm in the building.
Always a tough week.
Yeah.
When we coming off of L, Ravens lost Sunday. I mean, good game. I ain't gonna say it was a bad game. It was some things that could have went a different way, which would have changed the outcome. But the bed wasn't cold Sunday, and probably wasn't no babies made, and probably some divorces filed for, and everybody the unemployment line got a little longer.
Yeah.
So it's like that every time they lose. It's just bad, so. But it's always next week. Always next week. The Denver Broncos on the clock.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully we can get back on the right side of the win-loss column.
Hopefully. Yeah, hopefully.
So yeah, tough L Sunday against the Browns. And I see some people say, it was a trap game. The Browns, they won in whatever, and they just had the controversy last week with Deshaun Watson going down and fans cheering for him being injured. And
yeah,
some of the players had some comments, against the fans, man, and Jameis Winston is I mean, he's a professional quarterback. He haven't been a guy that's gotten he hasn't lived up to the famous Jameis coming out of college, right. And all the things that he did down there at Florida State. But I mean, he's an NFL quarterback. He's been able to stay in the league. I guess about 10 years now.
Yeah.
So he's been around. So and he looked real good Sunday. He looked sharp. I'm not gonna say he was a Pro Bowler Sunday, but he looked good.
Yeah,
he made some plays. He had the offense going, and they got the dub, man. I mean, shout out to him. Shout out to them for that. I don't expect them to win too much more. You know what I'm saying? They are the Cleveland Browns. Let's not lose sight of that. And it's funny. I did a video about a week and a half ago about Cleveland, right? Posted it. And I went through the whole list of quarterbacks they had since 2015. And the list, I wish I had it right in front of me because it's crazy. All of the quarterbacks, the head coaching changes that they had in that time.
Yeah.
Stability is a mother when you come to these pro sports. And when you constantly starting over, you can't expect to be successful. You can't expect to be successful. And I think a lot of that, as we learn, it comes from drafting the right quarterback. That's part of it. You got to have the right guy. And they have not had that guy. And they drafted high a lot of times in the last 10 years. And they've had opportunity to get some of those big names. And that's all they've been ready for Cleveland is big names. They ain't been able to produce. So before we get into the Ravens, before we go into the Ravens, a couple of things I want to touch on. So I just want to send condolences and rest in peace to former Maryland Terp Gerard Mustaf, who played in Maryland. I guess 1 or 2 years he was down there. Solid player. He played. So he came after the Bob Wade. Bob Wade recruited him there, of course, and then he played for Gary Williams. So that was during that time when Maryland was kind of, under the suspension, and he didn't get a lot of spotlight nationally. No NCAA tournament and all that stuff. But Mustaf was tough, 6'9", 6'10", kind of like he kind of like the forwards you see now. Actually, he could shoot it. He could put it on the floor a little bit. But he was solid down there those couple years. Then he went to the league. He played with, I know he went to Phoenix. I think he got drafted by Phoenix. And I played in the league for a couple years, played overseas, had a long pro career. But condolences to his family, to the Mustaf family, and rest in peace to Gerard Mustaf. And news came out today. Young fella I had the pleasure of coaching as a young guy. Met this guy when he was like 11 years old, man. Quiet kid, but talented, gifted. You kind of could see, he had the natural instincts to play the game. If you'd have asked me back then, would he have gotten to the NBA? I might have laughed. Like, man, he's 11 years old. You can't predict that. But Rudy Gay retired from NBA today, from professional basketball today. 17 years in the league. Solid player. Unfortunately, never made an All-Star team. I think a couple of them years he got cheated. He should have been an All-Star a couple times in there. Rudy Gay, guy that I know personally. Guy that I had opportunity to be in the gym with as a young guy. Watched him kind of coming to his own over the years, and watched him matriculate from rec ball to middle school to high school to college at UConn and to the NBA, So I just wanted to give Rudy a salute. Congratulations on a great career, and best of luck in whatever it is you're going to do in the next phase of your life. Still a young man, but one of the guys from this city, Baltimore, that he made it and had a long career. And, that's it's not an easy thing to do, and there's a lot of guys that we talk about that had a lot of talent that never made it. And Rudy was one that made it and was able to hang around and did great things for his family and for himself. So shout out to Rudy Gay, man. Congrats on a great career. And I'm still waiting on you to reply so that we can get you up on this show. That's directly to Rudy. I know you're watching somewhere. I know you're home. Somebody watching. Tell him check his inbox. Now I'm off the soapbox now. You got anything on that?
Yeah, man. But yeah. Shout out to Rudy, man, for really a strong career, man. Really solid. 17 years, man. Ain't too many players hang around that long.
Yeah.
And so he definitely made himself into and really, man, he's like the prototype player now. 6'9", can run, can move, can shoot outside, can block shots. I think he was in a couple of dunk contests. Very athletic, and man, really a blessing, man, that your fingerprints is in there,
Mm-hmm.
career and everything, So shout out to you for definitely playing a part in his career, and
Small part. I'll
condole
take it though.
Mustaf and his family. I think he got his son might be down there at Georgia Tech. He got a son
Gustav?
that was Gerard Mustaf had a son that was highly recruited.
Okay.
He's down there. I think he's down at Georgia Tech. He had Maryland on his list, but his son is only maybe like 6'4", 6'5", I think. But yeah, Mustaf was there with Wade, highly recruited, went to Maryland. Great. Had a real good career there. Wound up in the NBA for 3 or 4 years.
Yeah.
So yeah. Shout out. I understand that he passed away on his birthday.
Wow.
55. Just too young.
Yeah, it is. Way too young.
Yeah.
So I repeat him. And shout out to Coach Wade, Coach Bob Wade. I saw his son Daryl posted today. Coach Wade rang the bell. I don't know what hospital he was at, so I'm assuming he's going through some cancer treatment. But he rang the bell today. His son Daryl posted that video. So shout out to Coach Wade.
Okay.
Hope all is well health wise. Another legend in this town. So I just want to give him some props. For fighting that fight. It's just a lot of people that's dealing with that, and to ring that bell is a big thing.
Yeah.
When you're fighting that fight. So shout out to the Wade family, Coach Wade, and best of health to you. So, so I guess we go ahead and get on into it.
Yeah.
Go ahead, get on into this thing. Ain't no running from it. We got beat.
We can't hide.
The Cleveland Browns beat us, and that's the Super Bowl for Cleveland. That's the Super Bowl for them, man. I mean, they probably had ticker tape parade today, and the city was shut down probably since Sunday night. They beat up on the Ravens. Jameis Winston looked like he did at Florida State for a day. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's a good day for him, man. I'm happy for him. In the most sarcastic way I can be. Yeah. Fats, what's up? Fats, what's up? Now look. Fats be he be trolling. He be trolling, man. He trolled the Ravens hard.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So he was partying Sunday too. I'll be seeing your post, big fella. But I know it's gonna hurt you when your nephew get drafted to the Ravens next year. It's gonna kill you to have to wear that purple on Sundays. It's gonna kill you. But I'm gonna have to buy a jersey. If he get drafted, I'm gonna buy a jersey, big fella. My man Thad shouting out Rudy. Definitely an asset for sure.
Yeah.
For sure, man. Rudy, man.
And Rudy wasn't in no trouble, man. You know what I mean?
Nah.
Man had a stellar career, man. Was a great excellent ball player, and never was in trouble, man. That's a shout out to Rudy, man.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
17 strong years.
All right. So Fat say the defense have taken steps back.
Yeah.
I ain't got a lot I can say about the defense. God damn, who the hell is Eddie Jackson? They picked him up at the airport or something, didn't they?
Yeah, he ain't no NFL player, man.
On the way to Cleveland, they like, yo, we need one.
Yeah.
Come on. God, Eddie Jackson, boy, they was calling his name.
He horrible, man.
Horrible. Is it anything worse than horrible?
I'm looking for that word.
Man.
Yeah, man.
Every time they called his name, it wasn't something good happening.
Yeah.
I don't even think he had a tackle.
And then when he was close to making a play, he was dropping interception.
Now, I missed part of the first half of the game. So I heard that he had dropped a couple. And I was kind of in and out. Pat said if they draft his nephew, they holding out. Nah, he look good in that purple, son. He look good in that purple.
They throw that money at him. He's signing.
Hey, I like it. But yeah, man, that defense, man, you know, I seen somebody say that Roquan needs Patrick Queen. I'm like, no, that was the other way around. Queen needed him. Queen needed Roquan. But the bigger problem, like, you know, they suspect on the back end. I mean, Hamilton played more like a linebacker than a safety, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? Because he always up there in the mix.
Yeah.
He's not back there roaming and making plays happen in the back end like you would want him to be. And I think that's because we kind of weak up front. You know, they let go of my man. God damn, Clowney. And I think they could have came. I think Clowney could have came back at a reasonable price. You know, I don't think he was trying to break the bank. And he was big on that pass rush. And then, you know, you got they had a couple guys out this week up front, which don't help.
Yeah. And
then you had Humphreys that was out, who had the big game last week. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, but you know, I ain't in the excuse making business. I don't excuse it. You know what I'm saying? I don't make excuses for what did or didn't happen. You know, they because you show up on Sunday, you got to play. You know what I'm saying?
Period.
You show up on Sunday, you got to play.
That's the bottom line.
Roquan can't cover an old lady in the wheelchair here. You right? You right? He definitely ain't covering.
Somebody told me one of the guys on the job said he overweight.
Roquan?
Yeah.
He overweight a little bit.
Yeah, that's what the guy on the job said. I don't know. He's saying, but that's hurting him.
Clowney wanted to go back to Charlotte. Yeah, how that's working out for him.
Yeah, I'm not sure what Clowney doing down there, but to me, he was the biggest loss on defense. And I mean, him walking away to me was way bigger than Queen or Geno Stone or them guys leaving. Clowney, man, had a hell of a season, man. He was putting a lot of pressure. I think he finished with somewhere around 10 sacks.
Mm-hmm.
So many other times he got his hands on the quarterback. He probably could have had around 14 or 15 sacks. So close. And he pressure was real pressure. And it allowed the Ravens not to really have to blitz as much, you know. And Van Noy on the other side, they had a solid pass rush last year, and they don't have it this year. They're lacking, man. They're lacking. Even though they were like 5th or something in the league. I know coming into the game they were 5th in the league in like sacks.
Yeah.
But those aren't the sacks that they have, and man, is not. I don't know. It don't feel like they 5th in the league.
Yeah, and then Fat said, you know, coach going to Seattle. That's big, but you know that's part of it, man. Like when you have success, them other teams is coming. You know, them assistants are, you know, and everybody want a head job because that's where you gonna make their bread at. You know, so it's really
for Ray.
Was that?
I said that was almost every year when Ray was on the team.
Yeah. You know, Ray Lewis made a lot of people a lot of money, but you know,
No, the coach league was it. Yeah, and
you know, but see, we got spoiled through them years too.
Oh yeah,
you know, we got spoiled, man, because it really didn't matter who the defensive coordinator was when you had Ray and Ed and them boys. You know what I'm saying? Just get somebody in there that can work with them, because they gonna make sure the players is doing what they need to do. You know, where I don't really know what the makeup is of these guys we got on defense. You know, I know that things changed when Roquan came a couple years ago when they made that trade for him. it kind of turned everything around. You know what I'm saying? But like Humphrey looked good last week, for example. Looked good. But then a couple weeks ago, he looked like he washed up. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, you don't know what you get from him week to week. Hamilton is a ball player.
Period.
Defense. He's the best player on the defense right now.
No question.
But where is he most effective? Like, is he most effective? Kind of, because he really, like, you don't see him making a lot of plays in the back. He making most of his plays up on the line. Like, he's stopping the run, he's sacking the quarterback. You know what I'm saying? I guess if he is out in coverage, they're not throwing to him. They're not throwing his way.
Yeah.
So you could hear his name a lot back out there. Yeah, I hear that too. Humphrey garbage. Humphrey is garbage. But, he'll have a game like last week. You know what I'm saying? And they kind of quiet the noise for a couple of weeks.
I'm good with Humphrey. I'm good with Humphrey, man. I mean the Ravens. It's pretty amazing for them to go from that outstanding defensive team last year to where they are this year.
Yeah.
One thing I think, as was noted, McDonald going to
Seattle
was definitely big. I mean, he was the architect of the defense, but also, man, you got to understand that Anthony Weaver,
he went to Miami, didn't he?
Defensive coordinator of Miami.
Mm-hmm.
And, Denard Wilson, who was the secondary coach, left, and he is the defensive coordinator of the Tennessee Titans.
Mm-hmm.
You got those two players who could have easily been named the Ravens defensive coordinator.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure it might have been a tough selection when you look at Zach. Zach was the inside linebacker coach.
Right.
Anthony Weaver, he was defensive line coach and also the assistant head coach.
Mm-hmm.
And Denard Wilson was the secondary coach. So those guys, man, I mean, the Ravens defensive coaching team was raped, man, basically. And then when you throw the players in there that were gone, and Clowney and Stone and Queen, and even though I've never been a super big Queen guy, because I like my linebackers to be able to tackle.
Mm-hmm.
But again, Queen was all pro, and Clowney was our guy that led the team in sacks, and Geno Stone led the team in interception.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a lot when you think about the coaches and the players gone. That's a lot. And you bring Zach Orr in. This is his first year being a defensive coordinator. So, I mean, it's a tough situation. I just kept thinking that they would get better. They haven't really gotten better, but I agree with you, Kenny. They had a lot of people out this week. And to me, one of the biggest people out was Travis Jones.
Yeah.
Playing on that defensive line. He's been playing outstanding ball this year.
Yep.
I think overall, I'm looking at Hamilton as top defensive player. I really got Travis Jones as second, and as on the defense this year. I mean, I think he's been on that line, man, playing some real tough ball. And I'm about Wiggins, man. Wiggins is tough, man. I love the way he play. He a little slight with size and weight, but the guy, man, can cover, and I'm excited about him for this year.
And he was out Sunday too. But again, like, I ain't gonna make excuses for who wasn't there, who was or wasn't there. Yeah, it is what it is. It's, next man up, and you gotta go with who you got. And I agree. Queen and Smith was a hell of a combo at that linebacker, the inside linebacker. You know what I'm saying? They was right there at the top of the league as far as linebackers go last year.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, but you kind of knew they can't pay everybody, which that's the kind of one of the unfortunate thing about salary cap in football. You know what I'm saying? Is that somebody gonna get expended. Somebody is expendable. Somebody is gonna get left short, and you can't pay everybody. You gotta make them decision. In the NFL, the quarterback gonna get his money. your wide receivers, your safeties, your linebacker. Certain positions are going to get as a premium.
Yeah.
In the league, and then everybody else, you kind of got to fill the gaps. And one of the things the Ravens did well for years was they always had depth. You know what I'm saying? They was always able to bring guys in that didn't require a lot of money. You know what I'm saying? Well, I tell you, I seen a lot of them dudes who didn't play Sunday down normal. Fast, ain't you married, man? You shouldn't have been down there neither. You shouldn't have been down normal Saturday yourself, brother. Yeah. Well, yeah. Let me see. What we at that talking about? They lost a lot of coaching on defense, and it's going to take for every time for everyone to come together. Yeah, man, it's a process. When you lose people, you know what I'm saying? It's a process, man. It's an adjustment. But they are not going to wait. None of the other teams are going to wait for the Ravens to make those adjustments. That we got to make the adjustments and be ready to roll on Sundays. When it's game time, we got to be ready to go. You know what I'm saying? So, this when you have success and when you're successful, other teams, other organizations look at your guys, whether it's the coaching staff, whether it's the players, and they want to get some of that, to see if you can bring some of that formula over to their organization. It don't always work that way, but that's kind of what they do in this league. You know what I'm saying? Is they go out, the teams that win, they generally losing a lot of coaches and players every year. You know what I'm saying? So they losing people every year. So, the fact that the coordinator we lost Mike McDaniel to Seattle, and then we lost some of the defensive coaches who moved on and got other defensive coordinator jobs. It's part of it. You know what I'm saying? It's just part of it, man. You gotta adjust and hope that you got a system in place or a foundation, if anything. You got a foundation, if anything, to you keep things in place, keep things kind of stable. Just don't lose to the Giants. When they play the Giants?
They play them a little late on week 15, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. We on Denver right now.
Mm-hmm.
We on Broncos head right now, so they coming in here to get their head beat in this Sunday.
Yeah, man. I kind of had I thought when I looked at the season, I thought Monken has really been real sharp with the play calling.
Mm-hmm.
I think he had some blunders this past week.
Mm-hmm.
The play calling. I didn't like the call down close to the goal line when went to the Wildcat or something. Direct snapped it to Derrick Henry. Pretty much, man, you already let the team know what you was going to do. You put Lamar out, flank him out. I mean, I'm like, what the hell was that, man? I mean, and then I still have concern. I mean, I got a lot of concerns about the Ravens. I don't think that the offensive line it's still not. It's not that offensive line, that we had with Greg Roman that could just impose his will on people. They want to run the ball. They could impose their will. I don't think we can really impose our will on teams. I think it's the teams really, picking what they want to try to stop.
Yeah.
If you stop the run, you got to deal with Lamar. Yeah. If you try to stop Lamar, you got to deal with Derrick Henry. But I still don't think that offensive line is prime time to me. And to me, when you get down there near the goal line, and I think they did it on a couple of occasions, they tried some kind of hanky-panky stuff instead of, if you got big Derrick Henry, you figure they could just turn around and hand the ball to him and get in that goal line. It just wasn't going. And I think that's a problem when the Ravens are facing a good defensive team. And although people were Cleveland this year having a tough start, they still got that defense. They still got Miles, whatever his name is, and Zadarius and Ward back there. I mean, their defense is still there. And also, you got to understand that Cleveland Browns made the playoffs last year.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they had such a tough start that we kind of forget that. And last year, you know, it was Joe Flacco. So I think what they've discovered is that Deshaun Watson is a problem. You know, I think they've discovered that Deshaun Watson is a problem, has been a problem, and you know he's never reached his Houston level. And I think, man, a lot of times when you get caught up in the madness like he got caught up in, he was exposed for being with all these girls and these massages and all this craziness. Mm-hmm. His head ain't right, and he has never really been able to lock back in as that primetime quarterback that he once was. So at the beginning of the year, I looked at this division as a toss-up between all four teams before the season started. That was my take on it. I figured that anybody could win it out of the four, and that the Ravens could finish anywhere in that 1, 2, 3, 4. I thought it was that tough of a division. Obviously, the Ravens, you know, got off slow, but they got on that roll. I think that, you know, the Ravens will struggle against a team that has a tough defense. Mm-hmm. So if you can limit the Ravens to 20 plus points, 20 something points, that defense that we got ain't holding nobody down. The Ravens have a tough time winning a game like that because and a team like the Steelers, they built to beat the Ravens because they got that tough defense. And with Russell back there, quarterback, and the Ravens defense so porous, I think we will have a real tough time against a team like the Steelers.
Yeah, and we got them in a couple of weeks.
And it won't be long.
Got a couple of weeks, and they look. I mean, they look decent.
Yeah,
you know, they're looking decent. I think. And Russell Wilson give them a different dynamic.
Absolutely.
Because he's a little more stable.
Yes.
Than the young fella. And the young fella did a good job.
He did a good job.
You know, he did a good job holding the seat warm. But Russell Wilson give him a little more stability.
I think so. Much more seasoned.
Yeah, he's a little seasoned. Now, Russell Wilson, you know, is prone to the big mistake. You know what I'm saying? But you gotta get pressure on him. Number one, you know, get him moving around because he more of a traditional at this point in his career. He don't want to run too much more like he used to. But he will take off. You know, he'll take off. But you know, he's one that's he's prone to give it up if you keep pressure on him. So you gotta put some pressure on him. You gotta hit him a little bit and make him make some decisions that he probably wouldn't want to make. You know, but that's a couple weeks down the road. I don't want to jump the gun too much because I didn't watch them a couple of weeks. I didn't watch a couple of their games. And you know, just kind of watching. And then seeing the difference between the two quarterbacks. What he brings to the team versus the young fella. You know. But I mean, Lamar Jackson was solid as usual. You know, no turnovers. Solid quarterback play, you know, making plays when he need to.
The big drops.
Yeah, a lot of big drops on Sunday. You know, apparently the sun was shining too bright.
On offense and defense.
You know.
It was big drops.
Yeah. So, yeah, Hamilton could have sealed the game and the mood is different this week. You know, but that's how the ball bounces, you know. That one down the seam with Bateman.
Yeah.
He said the sun was in his eyes, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, it happens, you know. You got to play against the elements too. You know. So
it hit him in the face mask, didn't it?
Yeah. I mean, I think he hit his hands too.
Yeah.
But you got to make that play. You know, sun shining for both teams. You know. But yeah, I mean, it just is what it is, man. It was like a lot of drop passes. You know, I mean, Lamar, like the announcer said, Lamar probably could have threw for over 300 if they'd have caught some of them balls.
Yeah,
you know, it is what it is, man. Henry is gonna be Henry. You gotta run that horse. Now I'm one like this. Cause I hate when people kind of after the fact will look at the numbers without really looking at the flow of the game and say, well, Henry should have had X amount of carries. I just think the flow of the game dictate the carries and all that stuff. If you come in there and say he gotta have this amount of carries, but if he getting those carries and then they not scoring points, or you know what I'm saying, the offense ain't in the flow, but he getting his carries, then what? Then we say, well, we should have been throwing. So it's like you damn if you do, damn if you don't.
Exactly.
But you gotta the flow of the game going to dictate the amount of runs he get.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because I mean, you think about it. Last week, he was solid until the end of the game. Then he broke the big one. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just not one of these. You got to have this amount of runs. You got to have this amount of passes. I'm not that. I just like to see the game, the flow of the game will dictate what plays is run, who getting the ball, and how they getting the ball. That's just how I look at it.
Yeah, and that's how it is. I mean, that's how it is. It's going to dictate what the offense does. The game. If the Ravens is up by 14 points, their play calling is going to be a certain way.
Mm-hmm.
If down by 14 points, the play calling is going to be a different kind of way. So it's definitely going to dictate the game. You see, Derrick Henry put somebody in the hospital. And that game.
Yeah, I saw that.
Dang.
I saw that.
Boy.
That's like getting in the way of a truck.
Oh man. And I have to, I'm telling you, man, I am impressed with his speed. I mean, Derrick Henry, man, he outran the Cincinnati secondary when he ran 87 yards.
Yeah.
The guy, I thought he could at least, lost a half step or something. He's 30. He got a lot of miles on him. Incredible, man. Just incredible. That speed to be that big and 30-year-old running back with some miles on him to still be able to hit that top speed like that is really impressive, man. He has really performed outstanding. And I didn't really think, I wasn't that hyped on Derrick Henry coming. I liked him coming here, but I wasn't quite as hyped as everybody else. But I have to I got to take my hat off to that dude, man. He's been sensational.
Yeah, and he could be the first running back to go for 2,000. I don't think it's never happened before, right?
No, yeah. It's about 4 or 5 that done it. Jamal Lewis did it.
No, I'm talking about get it twice.
Oh, he'd be the first one to get it twice.
Yeah, because he already at like 800 something.
I didn't know he had it before.
Yeah. They were talking about that the other day.
He was on pace to break the record, to break Eric Dickerson's record.
Mm-hmm.
Coming into Sunday's game.
Yeah.
So I don't know where he at now.
Yeah. Well, hey. I don't see nobody, with the way that they utilize them, and then you got Lamar back there as well. It's tough for a defense when you got to account for both of them in their backfield. And then the young fella's going to come back, the speedster.
Yeah.
I heard he was back in practice this week.
Keaton Mitchell,
yeah. So, Cheese, what's up, brother? So, he'll be back in a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
And add that speed factor, more speed.
Another dimension.
You know what I'm saying? And he got that kind of speed, man. That's kind of scary.
Yes.
You know what I mean? When he broke onto the scene last year, couple of them runs, man.
Yeah.
Wow.
Mind-boggling.
Oh, good. It's all good, Cheese, man.
Real.
You bettering yourself, my brother. It's all good. All good. You're welcome to join us if you like. always a pleasure. But you know, yeah, it just tough, man, to see the game play out the way it did with you know, like you say, the drop passes, the missed opportunities on defense. You know, um, the game could have went either way. You know,
Yeah.
and when they scored at the end and there's time left on that clock, you know, it's like, yo, and Cleveland had been getting up and down the field the whole game. You just kind of knew, you know what I'm saying? Like I was like, yeah, this ain't gonna end good. And famous Jameis, as they call him, was able to go ahead and get the game winner.
And man, and you know, and Jameis, man, he was solid. Um, I didn't think he was. I mean, he made some plays, but basically, man, the guy threw at least 3 interceptions. We just didn't play.
Mhm.
And so, you know, I thought that his game was really a 3 interception game. Ravens, they say the Ravens lead the league in drop interceptions.
Hey.
That the Ravens league and so you know, I'm not worried. To him, he did okay. I think that what Cleveland did again was for the Ravens to play a tough defensive team that limit the Ravens scoring, even though the Ravens still should have scored more in this game. I mean, down on the 1-yard line, and they tried that crazy play with Derrick Henry. And so we had some opportunities that we blew. Lamar Jackson missed a open Zay Flowers going down the sideline. That could have been a touchdown there. And then another thing, one of the other things that's very disappointing is Justin Tucker. I mean, the guy is really, really struggling, man. And I mean, I get nervous on extra points. Now, I mean, I feel something in my body when he kicking an extra point that was needed, you know. And I'm like, so it's definitely something wrong with the guy, man. I don't know how you can go to the greatest, and now over the last 2 to 3 years, man, you can't hit anything over 50.
Right.
I mean, I don't know how that happens, man, and it's a weird thing, man. But all I know right now is that this Ravens team, they're not going to win. They can't win a Super Bowl with the defense playing that way.
Nah.
And I think it's going to be really difficult for them to win with Justin Tucker kicking the way that he's kicking.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a all kind of player role. I mean, you need a 55-yard field goal, and the man missed the field goal, and now they got good field position. And with this defense that we got, I mean, that's guaranteed points for the other team. So that stuff all work hand in hand. Another big disappointment, and another thing that's mind-boggling to me is the player Marcus Williams. I mean, I don't know how the guy can go from being that ball hawk, you know. I mean, he played better with one arm last year. I mean, what's going on with Marcus Williams, man? I mean, something ain't right there, man. I don't, and they didn't even play him Sunday.
He said, he wasn't
a healthy scratch.
Yep.
You know? So I mean, that's a huge disappointment right there. I'm a little disappointed in Roquan with his coverage. Backs coming out the backfield. He's struggling there. So, you know, but we can always complain about things, but yet and still, you know, the Ravens have won 4 of their last 5 games. They're there. Lamar Jackson playing that. And you know what, man? See, Lamar Jackson, man, he is that guy, man. I mean, I saw where I think it might have been Nick Wright who compared him to James Harden of the NBA and Joel Embiid, saying that you know, he can have a great season. James Harden have a great season, but get in the playoffs and don't have no kind of impact. Same thing with Embiid. That's who he compared Lamar Jackson to. And, you know, okay, you can look at it like that if you want to, but you can also look at it like, and this is the way I look at it, is like Lamar Jackson could be looked at as the Michael Jordan of the NFL, because Mike Jordan won his first title at what age? 28.
Yeah, 28.
So, and Michael Jordan had the ratings. Everybody watched him. Lamar Jackson has the ratings. Everybody watches Lamar Jackson. Michael Jordan was the best player in the league before he even won a championship. Lamar Jackson, the best player in the league before he won a championship. So I think you can make the comparison that, you know, that Lamar Jackson is similar to Jordan, but he got to win the Super Bowl though.
Ain't no question about that.
He got to win it.
Ain't no question. He got to win it.
Or two.
Yeah. Yeah. And you know, it's early in his career. You know, a lot of people
early.
See, we so much prisoners of the moment. You know what I'm saying? But what's up? The defense is trash. Right now they are.
Yeah.
They are.
No
You know,
doubt.
ain't no excuses for the defense. But you know, it's you know, we so much prisoners of the moment. You know what I'm saying? And not only can Lamar not beat Patrick Mahomes, nobody's beating him.
Nobody's been beaten.
You know what I'm saying? This dude already got 3 rings.
Yeah.
You know, been to the Super Bowl the last 4 years or something.
We've never seen anything like that dude before.
Nah.
I mean, for him to win all this so early in his career,
yeah.
Pat Mahomes, he outdoing what Brady did early in his career.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I mean,
Sure.
Patrick Mahomes, man, is something, man. And I mean, he knows when to run.
Mm-hmm.
Then when he run the ball, man, it just pisses you the hell off because he's so successful at it.
Yeah.
Don't look like he fast.
No.
He look ugly when he run. He sound ugly when he talk. I mean, he just piss you off because he that damn good.
Yeah, he good, man. And it's tough as it is. I mean, I'm a fan of good. You know, I mean, I enjoy watching, except for when they play us. You know, and the same way with Brady, man. When he was doing his thing, it was a beautiful thing to see, man. Because
you can see, man,
he made it look so easy.
Yeah.
You know, they made it look easy. You know, but I mean, we got Lamar, and like you say, man, Lamar is that guy. You know what I'm saying? You love him, hate him. You know, say what you want about the guy. I don't get too big on the the MVP stuff. I mean, he proved to me that he belonged. You know what I'm saying? And you still got people trolling and talking about what he can't do, what he not, and this, that, no. That's just hating at this point. The boy he's an NFL quarterback. You know, one of the most exciting players in this league.
In history.
No matter what position he playing.
Yeah, and
you know what I'm saying? He's at the top of the food chain right now in the league. And you know, him, just like everybody else in the league, they got a Mahomes problem. Mahomes is the guy that everybody's at the top, trying to knock off the top of the heap right now.
Yeah.
You know.
And so and then when you think about Mahomes, man, you throw Andy Reid in there. I mean, look, when the Ravens played Kansas City, we going into the game, we already down 3-0 because Andy Reid is at least 3 points better than Harbaugh. So when you play Kansas City, the game ain't 0-0. It's 3-0. And it might even be more than that because Andy Reid is better than John Harbaugh, at least by that much. And then when you look at that NFL, the AFC Championship game, I mean, they got them 14 points so quick.
Yep.
You know, that was coaching. The Ravens got out-coached early in that game, and by the time we reacted to shut them down, it was too late. You know, you get a couple of plays, Zay coming up with the fumble and things like that, and the Ravens come up short. There's only one thing that they can down talk Lamar on, and that's the postseason play, right?
Yeah.
The postseason. That's it.
And I believe, it's just right now it's here. You know, when you get to that point in the season, it's here. You know what I'm saying?
It is.
And remember, we old enough to remember. John Elway couldn't win the big one. John Elway could not win the big one, man. It was always You know, it was they could get to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
When they get there and lay an egg. You know, and this was all the way up until the end of his career. The last 2 years of his career, as a matter of fact, when he was able to get the monkey off his back. You know what I'm saying? And he won the Super Bowl. But that's
on the run ball.
And nobody talk about the losses anymore. You know, they don't talk about the Super Bowl losses no more with Elway. They talk about those wins.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so because his legacy was solid, he just couldn't win the big one. You know what I'm saying?
Who was that running back they brought in? That
Terrell Davis.
Terrell Davis, man.
TD.
That did
changed the end of his career for him.
And that's what we hoping Derrick Henry can do.
Yeah. Yep. You know what I'm saying? He came in and just changed things where he could kind of take the load off. You could count on him to go for 400 yards every game.
Yeah.
150. You know what I'm saying? He'll break off a 200-yard game here and there. But you know, when you could get a lead in the third and fourth quarter when you need to run clock, you had a horse. You know what I'm saying? You had a horse. And you know, the Ravens got the running game. You know, right now, we don't, you know, we're not the Ravens of old where we know we can shut you down on the defensive end.
Right.
You know, we don't have that team. We don't have that squad. So they got to put up points. Right. You know, Lamar got to run the track meet.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And they got to run that score up every week to take the will out of teams. Just beat them down. And see, when you got a Lamar that can throw the ball, and then you got Henry, and you know and Lamar can run the ball too. When they clicking, that's got to be deflating for a defense. You know what I'm saying? And you see them guys chasing Lamar around, man. You know that Cincinnati game come to mind. He running around, he fumbled the snap and pick it up, man, and run and touchdown. I mean, then you see the defensive line that was chasing him. He on his knees on the sideline, like, man, you gotta be kidding me, man.
Hey, man.
You gotta be kidding me.
Yeah.
You know, so it's deflating, you know, when it's rolling like that. And it's a L, you know, like I say, man, when you lose, man, people tend to overanalyze. And the mistakes seem to be so glaring. You know, everybody calling for a defensive back. I mean, you know, they traded for a wide receiver today. And people up in arms. Like, we need a defensive back. You know, how you gonna trade for a wide receiver? But like, yo, the trade deadline ain't even over. You got till the 4th, which next Tuesday.
Plenty time
to make a deal. You got time. And the trade, you got to have a trade partner. Like, you got to have somebody willing to trade with you.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? You can't do it. Ain't like Madden where you go in there and plug in. I'm gonna trade for this, and you gonna get it. Don't work like that.
Right.
You know, you gotta have willing partners that want to trade with you to make some of this stuff happen, man. So, you know, I try to be the voice of reason. You know what I'm saying? When the Ravens lose a game, because I don't like when they lose neither. But I just want some of my brethren, you know, the Ravens fans and the fan base, just calm down a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, go call your lawyer tomorrow and tell him you're gonna put the divorce on hold. You know, you ain't gotta leave your husband this week because they lost, or you gotta leave your wife because they lost. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead and make that baby. You go ahead and do that. You know, just like they won. It ain't gotta be so devastating every time they lose. You know, cook that man a meal.
Yeah.
You know, bro, go wash the car. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be okay. It's gonna be all right. We'll be back at it next week. And when we come on next week, we'll be talking about a W.
Yeah.
You know? We'll be talking about a W.
Yeah. Yeah, look like the Ravens got the Broncos Sunday. Then after that, they got the Bengals come to Baltimore on Thursday Night Football.
Mm-hmm.
Then we play the Steelers in Pittsburgh. That's week 11. And then on week then we go on Monday Night Football against the Chargers.
Mm-hmm.
The
Harbaugh Bowl.
Harbaugh Bowl.
Again.
Then the next game, December the 1st, we play the Eagles. I mean, that should be a tough game. Then we play the Giants. after that. So I mean, the Ravens got some tough games coming up. They're gonna have to be, on their P's and Q's, and making sure that they, win these games that they're supposed to win. Because even the playoffs is not a given.
Yeah.
I mean, we expect them to make the playoffs, but again, we got to play the Steelers twice. I think we play the Texans. They're a good team.
Yeah. Ain't no gimmies.
Ain't no gimmies, man.
Gimme.
They got to come out and play these games, man, and get these victories, so we can get into them playoffs, man, and have a chance at the Super Bowl. That's what we want.
Shout out to Landon Saunders, a legend in his own mind.
Absolutely. Maryland alumni, and I agree. I agree with Landon's statement, man.
Yeah, it didn't cost us nothing.
Awesome.
So he may run a kickback or something. Special team guy. He may sneak in the end zone or something. Good guy. So we'll see. We got till Tuesday for the trade deadline. It ain't over yet. See what kind of magic DeCosta got up his sleeve. I guess it's in DeCosta we trust. It used to be in Ozzie we trust.
Right.
So EDC, you got to pull some magic out the hat, brother.
Yeah, we gotta give him his time. He still got a little time left in the trade deadline.
Yeah. So let's see what he do between now and Tuesday. See what kind of magic he pull out the hat, and see can he address the needs? Because I mean, now he got a pulse of the team much better than any of us would. So he in that building every day, so he knows exactly what they need, what they can use, and what they can't. But they also know what they're willing to give away and what they're not willing to give away to get it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So again, a lot of times fans, man, we just want to see something happen. But from an organizational standpoint, it got to make sense. You know what I'm saying? It got to make sense. Business-wise, you got the salary cap that a lot of us really don't understand.
True.
How the nuts and bolts of a salary cap is. And we just want to see what we want as fans, man. We just want to see wins. And I don't care how you get them. I don't care how listen, I seen people say the whole coaching staff need to get fired Sunday. So you can't fire the whole coaching staff and expect to win football games the next week. You know what I'm saying? But again, that's that emotion. You know what I mean? The fans are emotional, man. We just want what we want. And we don't care how we get it. You know what I'm saying? We want W's. And again, I try to be the voice of reason here. And I don't like to be reminding people, but I will remind people that the last time we won the Super Bowl, look at the Ravens in December of 2012. It was not pretty. It was not pretty. They backed into the playoffs.
Yes, they did.
And got in the playoffs and got hot. So, the best quote I've ever heard in relation to sports is just get me in the dance. If I get in the dance, I got an opportunity.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it don't matter. Let the regular season play out. But if I'm in the dance, I got a shot to win it all.
Yeah.
So let's try to fix what we can fix. Let's get in the dance and then let's make our run at it. And that's just where I'm at with that.
Yeah, I agree, man. And and I think even when you think about the Ravens and you think about the draft, I don't think the draft really went the way that they wanted it to go. I think they went into the draft wanting to get. I think they had a couple of offensive linemen on their mind that they wanted to get first. But about time the Ravens went to pick, 9 offensive linemen had already been drafted. Yeah. So they went with Wiggins. I don't think that was what they was really looking for, but at the time, but they went to Wiggins, and then they wound up picking the first offensive lineman with their next pick. And at that point, 19 offensive linemen had already been drafted.
Yeah.
So when they picked the boy from Washington, man, that's a lot of offensive linemen that went before him. So I don't really think that they was looking at him as being their guy that they really wanted. But the way the draft flowed, that's what they turned. That's what they came up with. And you know, when you think about Zeitler and Simpson and Moses all leaving the team, again, you know, you said it, Eric DeCosta, we trust. So I'm trusting maybe some of the guys that's on the team that he really thought was going to be pretty good, and the draft. I think they really figured they'd be able to get somebody in the draft, maybe a little bit more highly touted than the guy that they got. So, I mean, there's a lot of things that this Ravens team, even though, and with all that being said, you know, teams are scared of them. You know, before the Cleveland game, people was totally afraid of this Ravens team. Yeah. So we really can't get down on them, and we got to ride this. And then Baltimore itself, man, look, we've never had a guy like Lamar Jackson. I mean, we have to really appreciate what we have here. I mean, Ravens football is absolutely must-see TV. This guy, Lamar Jackson, man, has brought so much excitement to this city, to the town. I just hope people are not taking this guy for granted and is not overlooking the excitement that he has brought to this city. I mean, Lamar Jackson is the most popular football player in the NFL. He's the most watched guy in the NFL. I mean, the Ravens, they're throwing him on national TV left and right, not because of Roquan Smith, not because of John Harbaugh. It's because of Lamar Jackson. Yep. People want to see Lamar Jackson, and the game they played against the Cowboys in the NFC. That was an NFC game. NFC put that as a top game. They put their top announcers on that game. We've had Tom Brady, who's a top announcer. They had him on the game. We had Tony Romo, who's top announcers on the game. We've been on, we opened the season up with Kansas City on Thursday Night Football. We've been on Sunday Night Football. We're going to be on Monday Night Football a couple of times. We're going to be on Sunday night, Thursday night again. These games, they moved the Ravens, Steelers.
Christmas night.
4:30 coming up. That's going to be a nationally, like a televised game or a 4:30 game. I mean, this dude, Lamar Jackson, man, you cannot compare him to some fucking James Harden. Man, get the hell out of here with that. Right?
Hey.
That's some straight BS.
Yeah, it is.
You can't Lamar Jackson, all this excitement that this guy is doing, and you gonna compare him to James Harden?
Hey, and we can't forget Christmas. They playing Christmas night. Christmas on a Wednesday.
Yeah, it is.
You know, so we prime time on Christmas night.
Prime time on Christmas. Let's not forget that. Ho ho ho! We play the Texans.
And I don't know how I feel about that one. Because they play Pittsburgh that Saturday before that.
Right.
It's not a Sunday. They play Saturday, then they come back on Wednesday.
They play the Steelers on the 21st, and they play the Texans on the 25th. That's a quick turnaround.
That's a quick turnaround. And you know, the NFL, they keep trying to tell us they about this safety. Well, at no time should the team be playing on a Wednesday. I mean, Thursdays is bad enough. I'm not a fan of the Thursday night game after you just played Sunday. You know, but you're talking about you playing Wednesday night just because it's Christmas. Why not let's let the NBA have Christmas like they've been? You know, unless Christmas fall on a Sunday.
Right.
You know, where you got NFL games anyway. But come on, man. Just leave the but it's, you know, it's about that money. And you know people gonna be tuned in. They know they're gonna have big ratings that night. You know, it's gonna be a big thing. You know, I'm just not a fan of it. I'm not a fan of it. The Wednesday night, you know, I'm just not a fan. Not at all. But it is what it is. It is what it is.
On Lamar Jackson, and he's cashing in on them big time. They making sure that they on these nationally televised games, man, so many times because Lamar Jackson is that guy that people want to see play. And then you throw Derrick Henry back there. They loving what the Ravens are looking like. But make no mistake about it, it's all about number 8.
For sure. For sure. For sure. You know, and when you got a money maker, you know what I'm saying, you gotta ride with it. And that's what they doing at the league. Is you know, they hear all the noise. They hear all of the back and forth about, you know, Lamar, what he is and what he is not. But they do know that man sell tickets.
You better believe it.
You know, they know he's selling tickets.
He get them ratings.
Get them ratings up. You know, they know that. They know that for certain. You know, he gonna have these numbers up.
The game against the Commanders was they made that a nationally televised game.
And they tried to flex that one.
Yeah.
They tried to flex that one to a night game. And whichever network had it wasn't having it. They said, nah, we ain't giving this one up.
We ain't giving that one up.
You know, we ain't giving it up. We ain't giving it up. I gotta before I turn the channel, turn the page here. But you know, it's you know, the season is still young. We about almost halfway through the season here. You know, again, I try to be the voice of reason. I know a lot of the fans, man, get a little upset after every loss. You know, the losses are hard.
Yeah.
You know, the losses are hard because man, people are just so emotionally tied to, you know, wins and losses, right? And so I get it, but I just hey, listen, if you're a fan of the Raiders, calm down a little bit, just relax. You know, this 1 week, just 2 weeks ago, everybody talking the Ravens were the second best team in the NFL. You know, I was seeing that everywhere. And now they lose the game, and now they got this problem, they got that problem. They'll never win another game. You know what I'm saying? See, here we come with the jokes. Here we come. Here we go. Here we go. Now we from the Muppet Show. You know what I'm saying? This guy, man.
And you know, Landon got jokes, man.
Listen,
Landon can go. We've been on a podcast with Landon where he went. I know it was like 45 minutes to an hour straight jokes, straight jokes, one
straight
behind
jokes.
And all me and Kenny did was just laugh for an hour. Landon got jokes, man.
You imagine trying to get some work done with that guy in the building.
I remember you telling me.
You try to get some work done, and he got jokes all day. But he talk about us. You know, they ain't never do no work. Talking about the lunch breaks and all that stuff. The lunch breaks wasn't for nobody to know about. First off, brother. So let's keep that. Let's keep it there. You know what I'm saying? let's keep it there first. You know. Well, yeah, that's my guy. You know, my guy Landon, man. I knew he was gonna come with something. You know, I knew he was gonna come with something. Because if it wasn't him, you know, I wouldn't take it from nobody else. But let me get your opinion on this here. Get your opinion on this here.
Oh yeah, I saw that. The statue out down there in Miami for Dwayne Wade.
Now they say he greenlit it. You know, they got photos of him looking at the making of it, and
okay,
he gave it the thumbs up, man. What he had smoked a couple blunts before he went in there looking at that thing. Then
yeah, well, somebody had to tell me who that was. I didn't know who that was. Oh man. Yeah. I mean, I don't see Dwayne Wade nowhere in that picture. Nah.
Nowhere.
Lawrence Fishburne. Definitely don't look Dwayne Wade. And but shout out to Wade, man. You know, for getting that. He deserved it.
Yeah. He deserved.
He meant a lot. He meant a lot to that franchise.
Yeah, but the statue though, brother. I don't know.
I know. Yeah,
I don't know.
That was pretty good, man. Putting that one up.
Yeah. I mean, shout out to him. You know, it's up there now. It's an eternity now.
Yeah, no doubt. And shout out to Wade, man. I thought he did a really good job, man. At the Olympics. Commentating. I was really impressed with his commentating ability on at the Olympics. I thought he did really well.
Yeah. Well, let me get this off my screen because it's kind of hard to look at. It's hard to look at there. But you know, the NBA season started.
Yeah,
about 2 weeks in. You know, early. I mean, it's about a week and a half in, I guess. Still early. I mean, very early. You know, very early. You know, for people that watched NBA games, right? I can't watch the NBA the same way I can't watch baseball and judge game to game. You know, for me, baseball I look at like a 10-game clip because it's such a long season. I'm looking at how the team is playing on a 10-game stretch.
Yeah.
You know, and I kind of break it down like that. You know, I mean, the Lakers start off 2-0 and JJ Redick is the greatest thing since sliced bread. He's a great fit. Yeah. You know, I said, damn, it's just 2 games. Right. Oh, but look how he's using such and such in the flow of the game and this, that, and the other. But it's 2 games.
Yeah,
it's 2 games. Let's see how they looking at Christmas time. You know, let's talk about the league. Let's talk about the NBA at Christmas time. Let's talk about who are contenders.
Yeah,
Christmas time. Christmas time is my first kind of measuring stick, and then the All-Star break is my second measuring stick. I watched how teams are playing in between those 2 times. And that's kind of how I look at, you know, teams that I think got a shot to win it all.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
I mean, starting out the break, you know, Boston is going to be tough. You know, Boston is still going to be tough, barring injury.
Defending champs.
They still the team to beat in the East, as far as I'm concerned right now.
Agreed.
You know, Philly, you know, I haven't seen them yet. I haven't seen what they look like with PG. So, you know, I don't know what that dynamic is going to bring. But they already got some controversy because goddamn Embiid said he's not playing back-to-backs.
Did he? Really?
Ever again.
That's what he said?
He said that came out like last week. He said he's never, ever playing back-to-back games again.
Wow.
For the rest of his career. So somebody was breaking it down. So that's like 15 games a year that they had back-to-backs that he already not playing, that according to him.
Wow.
That's not good.
Wow.
That's not good, man. And you know, I see, you know, a lot of the older guys, man, they got a lot to say about the younger guys, the guys in the league now. You know, you hear that they couldn't play in our time because of whatever. I don't get too much caught up in that because it's all fantasy. You never know who could or couldn't be successful in what era.
Yeah.
I think ballers are ballers, and you figure it out.
Yeah.
You know, somebody that can hoop, you're going to adjust to whatever's going on. If it's physical, you're going to adjust to that. If it's finesse, you're going to adjust to that. And I don't really get caught up in, you know, what somebody would be versus this era player, that era players. But what I will say, you know, you cannot let that money and all that stuff started with Pop with the load management with the wasn't playing Tim Duncan and them boys certain games. And he was even sending them home. They was on the road. He go ahead and send them on back to San Antonio. Go ahead on back. And we gonna let these guys play. You know what I'm saying? And then load management just got out of control, where everybody taking breaks. And you getting paid a lot of money. And you got people that they want to see these guys. So when players, the big name players are coming to these cities and they're not playing for whatever reason, there's not legitimate injury, they load managing and all this stuff. I don't like it. I'm not a fan of it. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, injuries happen, but to say, because of injuries or whatever, you're not going to play in back-to-back games, and you talking about you're not going to play the rest of your career in back-to-backs. That's just not a good look. You know what I'm saying? That's not a good look for the league. It's not, because it's going to set a precedent. If he do it, that means somebody else going to do it. And if somebody else do it, then it's going to become it's just going to become league-wide. Everybody going to start doing it. And I'm not a fan of it. I'm not a fan of it at all. I want players from previously and play less. Exactly, Landy. All of the workouts and all of this that they doing, but yet they playing less basketball. You know what I'm saying? When the lights are on, they're not playing. They hurt. You know what I'm saying? Or they resting injuries or this, that, and the other. Yo, just go hoop. Go play, man. You know what I'm saying? Go out there and play. And because see, we become the old guys in the room. You know what I'm saying? We talk about yesteryear. You remember we was young guys and we didn't want to hear that shit from old people. Man, we don't hear nothing about back in your day. You don't want to hear that. Well, now that's us. And we talking about back in our day. Yo, just go play, man. I get it that y'all making a lot of money. That it's big investments. The teams are sometimes holding guys back because they don't want to risk injury and all this stuff. You see, exactly. Gerald Henderson played the game with the damn neck brace on. Come on, man. Come on, man. What are we talking about?
Right.
What are we really talking about here? But I just think, man, it's just bad for the league. When you got guys that's load managing, you got Embiid. How can you make a statement? How can you even make that statement?
They should have fined him for making that statement.
Yeah. How can you even make a statement like that?
Yeah, man, they should have fined that guy.
And I just don't understand it. I don't understand it, man. And as big a basketball fan as I am, that right there, that just don't sit well with me, man. But I'm excited about the league. Good to see my guy Ja Morant back.
Yeah,
big Ja Morant fan. I say, Ja Morant, SGA, and Ant is my three of my favorite young guys in the league right now. Like I love watching them guys play. You know what I'm saying? I think, man, the league really, the sad part is they all in the same conference.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They all in the Western Conference, so they got to beat up on each other to get to the finals or whatever, man. But
yeah,
them three for me, and I'm not discounting anybody else, but them three are my favorite three guys to watch now.
And I think it's a real nice blend right now, man, of veterans and guys, man. It's a real nice blend, man, because Durant is still there, Curry is still there, LeBron is still there. You still got those guys still there, and then you got these young guys in there. You gotta get that done. See, that's what I was talking about, y'all. That's what I'm talking about with these jokes, man.
Yeah. I think secretly he wanted to live. He wanted to live in Turners at some point.
Yeah, maybe.
Because there you go. Get it right. Get it right.
I bet.
Hey, get it right. You get it right. You know, that's it. Secretly, he wanted to live in Turner.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He wanted to be from Turner's at some point. That's my guy, though. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, man, and another thing, man, bouncing back to you talking about them comparing players in different eras and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I always like to use the example of, you know, they always talk about Shaquille O'Neal and they talk about Wilt Chamberlain.
Mm-hmm.
Wilt Chamberlain played, you know, years ago, but when you think about a guy like Chamberlain, and obviously he scored 100 points and he averaged 50 a game, along with 20 something rebounds a game. I think 1 or 2 years he led the league in assists. So the guy was doing all kinds of things, and people and I got into in the basketball thing on Facebook. I was going back and forth with a guy. He's saying, you know, Shaq would crush Wilt, and you know, but here you got Shaq playing in the 90s and the 2000s, and you got Wilt playing in the 50s, late 50s, 60s, and 70s. You know, but what if Wilt, you know, went through? What if Wilt? You take a Wilt Chamberlain and put him in the present day, but you allow for him to go through AAU. You allow for him to be able to play on the shoulders of those who played before him. Mm-hmm. And because the man could run a 4.5 in the 40, I mean a 4.5 40. The man was the high jump champ in high school. The man was the long jump champ in the Big Ten. Mm-hmm. You know, he was strong as an ox. I mean, so Shaq couldn't do those kind of things athletically. Right. So I'm saying it's tough to even compare because they look at highlights from back then, but they don't think about what if the guy, you bring him up to the present time and allow him to you know, grow with the evolution of the game, because the game always evolves. Yeah. And the argument to me is just like the argument of Jordan and LeBron. Mm-hmm. To me, you can argue that LeBron's game might be better than Jordan's game. You can make that argument, you know, but you can't make the argument that he's greater than Jordan. Mm-mm. Because it ain't even close. Mm-mm. That argument ain't even close, but the game evolves. So when the young guys see LeBron and they say he's greater than Jordan, he's the great. No, he's not. He's not. He could be a better ball player. You could look at plenty. You could take a guy now that might be off the bench, and you might say he's better than Oscar Robinson. Right. You know, because he can do more things with the ball. In other words, if you look at somebody like Coleman, the sprinter. What's the sprinter name? Coleman for the U.S. He's a sprinter. He won a world championship.
I'm great. Say Ben Coleman. So I'm great.
I mean, the guy, technically, he's better than Carl Lewis because he has times that he's running track in the 100. He's run 9.7 something. Carl Lewis' best time was 9.8 something. Right. So technically, he's better than Carl Lewis. Mm-hmm. But is he greater than Carl Lewis?
No.
Hell no.
No.
It ain't even a competition. So I think a lot of people are confusing this greatness thing with somebody being better, because and the game is going to evolve. So that, to me, that's where the confusion comes in. People don't really understand what greatness is. They think better is greatness, but it's not.
Nah. And then, you know, I gave up having those arguments and those discussions with people. You know what I'm saying? Because the first thing people do is they go looking at numbers. You know what I'm saying? And numbers is not going to tell the whole story. You know, the greatest thing I ever did was take a statistics class. And I had a professor say,
yeah,
you know, basically, you know, we do statistics. Statistics make the numbers look exactly how you want them to look. Mm-hmm. So, and that's why you come up with these new statistics every so often. You know, they come up with something new. You know, so like, you know, baseball now they talk about the WAR. You know,
Yeah,
the wins above replacement. I'm like, well, when did they start that?
they got all kind of stats.
You know, greats in every era. They talk about Mike and Braun with a game on the line. I'll take Bird. You know, and again, Larry Bird is a guy you can make an argument for. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like to say, see, my Michael Jordan is my favorite player. If you're asking me, I'm gonna always go Mike. You know what I'm saying? And that's just me. But that's just my personal preference. But if you make an argument for Larry Bird, I'm not gonna sit here and argue. I'm not gonna sit here and say you out your mind, you crazy.
Right.
Because Larry Bird is one of them guys. You know what I'm saying? As much as I dislike Larry Bird during that time, I respect the hell out of him. You know what I'm saying?
I'm not picking him over Jordan at crunch time, but he's the second guy I'm picking. LeBron in the question for this thing here that Landon brought up. I don't think LeBron is even in the equation here for you know, with the game on the line. I'm not fooling with no LeBron.
Well, they say LeBron gonna make the right play.
I don't even see that either. I don't see that either.
He gonna make the right play.
The way I've seen LeBron over the last few years, and to me, I think his legacy. A lot of people think his legacy is still growing. I mean, the thing of him playing at this advanced stage is incredible. Obviously, we never seen before somebody playing at this level. But to me, Michael is in his head, and it looks like when he come down to the stretch down in these games, he's trying to force some great play because he got Michael in his head. And the fact that he has a dominant Anthony Davis over these last couple of years, Anthony Davis has been balling, man, in these playoffs. He's been healthy. And for them to get swept with a dominant Anthony Davis playing, to get swept by Denver, and then to come back the next year, Anthony Davis balling again and lose what? They lose 4-1 or whatever. I don't know what it was, but to me, man, that's devastating to me, to LeBron's legacy. And then in those games, he fumbled a couple of them games down the stretch, making bad decisions and forcing shots and all that kind of stuff. So I think LeBron need to kind of calm down and allow for, you know, Anthony Davis or whatever to take the lead in some of this stuff, man, and just kind of be more just orchestrate.
Yeah.
You know, and of course he got his son with him, you know, and that's a big story in the NBA.
Yeah, Dr. J is another one.
Yeah,
you know, I mean, you gotta see again, like basketball. Like I said, you know, when I look at a season, I break the season down into, you know, 10 game stretches here, 10. You gotta do the same thing with these different eras. You know, Dr. J probably played his best basketball in the NBA. From what I've heard, I was a young guy at that time.
Yeah.
And didn't really get to see much of that. So I remember Doc as a Sixer. And I remember watching some of that when they swept the Lakers. But I wasn't really a big basketball fan at that time. So, you know, it was on. I saw it because it was on in the house. I wasn't really paying attention to it. And but again, Dr. J was the first basketball superstar that I was aware of as a kid, you know, because he was on commercials and he was, you know, prevalent. You know, he was in the Fish to Save Pittsburgh. And, you know, I remember him as like he was the big basketball star for me in my time growing up. Even before I was a basketball fan, it was Dr. J, you know what I'm saying? And so the whole GOAT debate in basketball, and really basketball is the only sport that you see this. You don't really see people talking about who's the GOAT in the NFL or who's the GOAT in Major League Baseball. You don't see the discussions like you do now. You know, baseball is either going to be Babe Ruth, Willie Mays, Hank Aaron is in there sometime, Barry Bonds is in there. You know, so you hear it's really the same few names that's kind of thrown about in baseball. In the NFL, you know, Brady because he got the 7 Super Bowls, Montana, Jim Brown, you know.
Yeah.
And I mean, I can't. I mean,
A little bit.
it ain't too many other ones that you hear that talk about is the absolute greatest of ever of all. Montana. I mean, Johnny Unitas at one time he talked about.
Yeah.
But you know, it's not a lot of debate back and forth like it is with basketball, where they throwing these stats out there and they throwing these names around, and they try. And then the one thing they do with basketball that I don't like is, like you brought up, is they try to diminish a guy because of when he played.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it's not his fault that he played when he played. You know, you can only play when you play. You know, so Wilt Chamberlain. I mean, I even see people saying that the 100-point game didn't happen because there's no video footage of it. It's like, just you know, sometimes, man, just leave it alone.
Right.
You know, leave it alone. There's no need, man. We all these conspiracy theories now. You know, the internet probably one of the best and worst things that happened to us because, you know, I'll just leave it right there. Leave it at that. You know. But the NBA season is off and running. The World Series is off and running right now. Like the Yankees might they trying to hold on and get one. It's because Dodgers was whooping that, you know. Dodgers was up 3-0 on them, ready to send them home. Start spreading that news. You know, they ready to get them out of there. The Yankees they in the bottom of the 8th right now, 6-4.
Okay.
You know. I don't know if the Dodgers got some magic left in them, but they got one more game at least in New York. If the Yankees hold on tonight, they'll play again tomorrow in New York, and then they go back to LA for 6 and 7. You know, I'm a Dodgers fan out this week. Dodgers always been my second favorite team behind the Orioles, of course. You know, I'm partial to the Dodgers because I was on the Dodgers, you know, in the Little League down the way, and we always won. So we always won. So, you know, Dodgers always been my second team. So Shohei, what's his name? How you say his name? Shohei Ohtani.
Ohtani.
The gambler.
50-50 guy.
Yeah. He the gambler. Threw his man under the bus and said, boy, you gotta take this charge.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're gonna have to take this one.
Right.
Damn, you know I don't know no English. You know I don't speak the English.
Yeah, he lost English after that one, boy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look, see? Well, I tell you, man, you try to be nice to this guy. No, they didn't let me watch the games at Hickey.
No, they didn't.
Oh man, lucky I like him, man.
Yeah.
Where y'all the Dodgers or the robbers? See? Hey.
See, man, you got cut Landon off, boy.
I ain't doing this tonight.
Get started. I'm telling you, man, once that dude gets started,
yeah, he ain't gonna stop.
He ain't gonna stop, man.
He ain't gonna stop. He can be doing when we cut off. He probably start texting me the joke.
Going, man.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, any final thoughts before we shut it down? You know.
Yeah. Well.
Got the Broncos next Sunday, so we looking to get back on track there.
Yeah, they come here.
Yeah, they're coming in town. You know, always, my brother. Peace and blessings. Landon.
Yeah, absolutely, Landon. Yeah, man.
So I'm looking forward to getting back on the right track.
Yeah.
This week.
Yeah.
You know, Ravens. I'm looking forward to see what we got in the kitty this Sunday.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, I'm watching NBA games here. You know, I'm not tuning in every night, but I'm watching some games.
Exactly.
You know, getting the feel. It's still early. I'm not in basketball mode yet. You know, I will be in basketball mode in 2 weeks when my season starts. So
Okay.
I'll be back in the gym. You know, doing what we do, trying to get these young guys right. You know,
Yeah. Yeah, man. I think we got, I'm looking forward to seeing what the Ravens do as far as trades. You know, that thing there, I'm almost certain that they're gonna make, a couple of moves. And so I'm excited about that uh, coming up. I think you said what, November the 7th or something like that. I don't know, or
the
Wednesday.
4th. Yep. The 5th. Next Wednesday, next Tuesday.
Yeah. So we
Next Tuesday.
looking forward to that, to see what they do. Hoping that the guys can come back and get healthy. I want to see Humphreys out there and Wiggins and Travis Jones out there. I know Pierce got hurt, so I don't know. He had a calf injury in the game.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know what that means. I like to see Marcus Williams, man, get back to being the Marcus Williams that we signed as a free agent, and just hoping to see that Ravens defense can get tight. The offense is good, is there, but that defense just needs to tighten up. They ain't got to be the best defense in the league, but I mean they need to get to a point where they're just not giving up points like they are.
Yeah.
And again, man, Ravens is must see. We have to see these games, man. Must see TV. Lamar Jackson, and I'm just enjoying this Lamar Jackson era with the Ravens. It's like the greatest sports. Some of the greatest sports that we've ever seen, and it's talent. I don't even think that we can really look at an athlete that we've had in Baltimore that can really compare to a Lamar Jackson. I mean, you might have to go all the way back to Unitas back, when he was winning championships in the 50s and the 60s. But to me, Cal Ripken and Eddie Murray and Brooks and those great Orioles, man, I don't think any of those compare to Lamar Jackson, man. The Ravens, face of the Ravens franchise has been Ray Lewis for so many years, man. But this dude, Lamar Jackson, man, is so good, man. And I'm just telling you, man, all he really needs to do is to get that chip. And man, it's a wrap.
Yeah. Yeah, it'd be over. They get that championship.
Yeah.
It's going to take him to another stratosphere.
Yeah. Yeah.
Another stratosphere, man. And
yeah.
What I like about Lamar is he's just a humble dude, man.
Yeah.
He don't get too high or too low. And he's a winner. You know what I'm saying? He's a winner, man. And I just like it. I like the way he lead, man. It seems like these guys, they ride him, they ride for him. They fight hard for him.
Yeah.
And when you see other great players, showing them love, man, and giving them props, it just says something about the type of person he is and the type of player he is, man. A lot of times too, again, man, we get so caught up in the little surface type stuff that don't really mean nothing as fans, because we just fans just want what they want.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We don't really get to what's going on in the locker room and how he's, how he is in meetings and how he is in that building and the respect level he has out there amongst the guys that's in that building. I never heard none of them guys say nothing bad about him. You know what I'm saying? That's usually what I look for.
That's true. That's right.
When you have these players, man, you know the story. When Kyle Bowler was the quarterback, and I saw Zeus in the supermarket. And I hey, what's up, big fella? Let me ask you something. Man, can the boy play or what, man? And he's like, who? Said the quarterback. Can he play? Is he going to get better, or is this as good as he's going to get? And man, he just gave me that look, man. He said, "Man, you see what he be doing out there, man. You see him out there tripping over his own feet and all that stuff, man. You see it. You know what it is." And I said,
Well,
"Big fella, say less."
You called me and told me that one, boy.
I said, "Man, say less." Yeah, fans like old hoes. They ain't never satisfied.
That's fine.
Yeah, man. So that locker room means something, you know. So if the guys in the locker room they ride with Lamar, then who am I to say different?
Yeah.
You know, who am I to go against what the brothers in the locker room say?
Enjoy this ride. Enjoy this era, man. This Lamar.
Yeah.
Because it's really something special, man.
Yeah, I'm glad to get a front row seat.
Yeah.
Right here in my city.
I'm so glad you're Raven.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, because and speaking of, you know, Joe Flacco gonna be starting for the Colts this week.
Yeah.
You know, and Joe is still beloved in this city.
Yes, he is.
And you know, there's a certain segment of people that feel like he got a raw deal. And it is what it is. You know, his time was up here.
I think so.
It was time for him to move on.
Yeah.
Excuse me. I was appreciative of what he did for the Ravens when he was here. He had some super solid years here.
Yeah.
You know, good young quarterback. You know, he started from day one.
Mm-hmm.
And kind of proved to be what the Ravens needed. Was a game manager in the beginning.
Yeah.
He didn't have to make plays in them first few years because the defense was so top notch.
Steady.
You know, that all he had to do was come in and not F it up.
Right.
And he proved that he could come in and not F it up and make a play when you needed him to. You know, so, you know, he had the Ravens in contention for the first 4 or 5 years of his career, and they finally got over the hump. He got the big one. You know, so he's going to be forever loved in Baltimore. You know, Super Bowl MVP. You know, and no matter how you feel about how his career here came to an end, you can never take away what he did while he was here. And the fact that he's still in the league, you know, he found a job every year. He kind of led Cleveland to the playoffs last season.
Yeah.
You know, now we got in the playoffs. He looked like the Joe that I remember from the Ravens, but that's another story. You know what I'm saying? But he got him there.
He struggled.
You know, he got him there and played well getting them there.
Yeah.
You know, played well getting them there. And so a little controversy out there with the young quarterback out there in the Colts.
Richardson,
yeah, it says I'm reading that he pulled himself out of the game Sunday.
Is that right? Wow.
I read that now. I don't know how true that was, but that's what I read. That he pulled himself out of the game because he was tired. He was tired. He was a little tired. He needed a break.
Wow. How old is he?
I guess he's 22, 23.
Well, I ain't never need a break when I was.
Yeah, that's what I read. I read that he pulled himself out. He needed a break. And
wow.
So I guess they say we're gonna give you a break for real. And Joe Flacco is gonna start.
Ain't Joe the starter, yeah.
This week. So
wow.
You know, shout out to Joe Flacco, you know, out there in Indianapolis with the Colts.
On this thing, man.
Yeah. Landon said, "Old boy Shorty tired of getting that ass beat."
Yeah, he was getting beat up.
Yeah. And that'll do it.
That'll do it.
What was the quarterback Cincinnati had back in the day when back in 2000 when the Ravens was teeing off on them?
Yeah.
Black quarterback, I can't remember. Kelly Smith.
Yeah.
Kelly Smith said, "You know what?
Yeah.
Y'all ain't had this.
Yeah.
They teeing off on my ass on this."
Poor guy.
Right there, Mike McCray and
all them crazy ass. All them crazy.
Man, they were tearing off on that boy, man. He said, man, I had enough of this. I'm done. Get me up out of here, man. So, yeah, I'm ready to get on out of here. You know, another week.
Not one in the books.
You know? But yeah, you know, it's gonna be better next week. Y'all don't fall for divorce just yet.
Yeah. Hang in there.
Y'all stay together. Keep y'all family together. It's okay.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
You know? Have a cookout next Sunday for the game.
Yeah.
Invite all your family over. It's gonna end better.
Shows a lot of domestic violence and all that crap going on. I mean, come on, y'all.
Yeah.
Come on now.
Yeah, let's cut the crap.
Yeah, come on now.
Cut the crap, people. Love one another.
Exactly.
See, we need Michael Jackson at a time like this.
Yeah.
You know, I'm a lover, not a fighter.
A lover, not a fighter. One of the most famous quotes ever.
Heal the world.
Heal the world.
You know?
I mean, come on now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but I appreciate everybody that tuned in.
Yeah.
You know, we had a lot of people checking in and out. I saw some of y'all. I'm gonna need everybody to start sharing these videos, man. And, you know, sharing the video out to your friends and their friends and their friends. And subscribe over there on YouTube. You know, I'm gonna need everybody to start participating a little more, put a little more pressure on the fans of the sportsman. Don't keep telling me how much you like what I'm doing. Show me some support. Hit that subscribe button, hit them like button, hit them comments. You know, help me get to that next level. You know what I'm saying? So, been a good night. It's you know, we got a few days to the trade deadline. People don't beat up DeCosta just yet. You know, I know y'all ready to hang the brother and ready to fire Harbaugh and ready to get the offensive coordinator fired and the defensive coordinator. He got to go. I mean, everybody gonna get fired next week. You know, it's gonna be a fire sale.
They already got the rope around Zach Orr's neck.
Oh yeah, he's done.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, he's done. You know. So, with that being said, get up out of here, my brother. Appreciate you. Thank you for joining us. We're gonna do this again. I guess in 7 days. I guess it'll be Tuesday in 7 days, and that's the trade deadline day too. So hopefully we have something to talk about.
We have a lot to talk about. Absolutely.
A win and a pickup on the defensive line or something.
Yeah, we gonna do something, man. We're gonna get a lot better. They're gonna get that defense together, and I'm looking forward to these Ravens, man, playing some good football throughout the season.
Eric DeCosta, if you're watching, I need you on the show next week. I need you to do some explaining.
Questions for you, EDC.
Yeah. Come on in and log in. Or come sit next to me. You come live in the studio, in the Sports Mix Studios. All right. I'm out.
All right.
Have a good one, man. Peace.
Yeah.